Your Excellency, before I say anything on this occasion, I have to express to you my gratitude and that of the good people of the Upper West region for deeming it fit to reinstate our distinguished Honorable Regional Minister, Alhaji Alhassan Suleimana. This singular act of yours proved to us that you are no less than the listening president that Ghana has always wanted. To this end, we wish to reassure you of our preparedness to give our unconditional backing to this Honorable Regional Minister and his team of other appointees of yours in their quest to fully execute whatever you ask them to do for the betterment of our lives and of the region.
I'm grateful to the one for the appreciation of the initial measures that my government has taken. My government is coming to office to transform the face of our nation. Ghana should be much further down the road of development than it is today. And that is why in my first State of the Nation address, I told the Parliament that I was a man in a hurry. And all these policies that we're rolling out are part and parcel of this vision for rapid development of our country. And I'm appealing to you and the people of WA and the people of the Upper West region to stand solidly behind the government in this endeavor.
VIP stand contains ICT center, indoor games room, caretaker's office, and as you can see, we have trophy stands for the winning team. At the back of the VIP, we have offices for the staff who manage the place. And for the popular stand A, which is not roofed, we have counseling center to counsel the youth, to help them to become responsible citizens of society and contribute to national development. We also have the stand B. It's also not roofed, but under it we have the first-class restaurant that can take about 78 tables, and then we have the popular stand, which contains convertible offices, ICT training, and all that will take place here, so that the youth will have something to do with their hands. Every region we are doing one. And then so far they've done 11% within the shortest possible time. And you know the structure, substructure is where all the job is. We hope that once they finish with the substructure, they have 9 months to complete the job. And we want to make this a Valentine present for you. So when you get here, this is exactly how the VIP is what's under construction here. So as you see it, we have also Olympic standard football pitch, which means you can play international matches here.
Mr. President. Yes.
On behalf of my colleagues in this edifice of an auditorium on this auspicious day, we are meeting the Excellency, Nana Akufo-Addo. We have observed with keen interest the interventions you have put in place to better the lot of Ghanaians, the challenges notwithstanding. We all know you are very enthusiastic at fulfilling your campaign promises. The major one, the free senior high school, has been delivered, and you have started cutting the sod for the commencement of work on the one village, one dam, one district, one factory, warehousing initiatives, and the construction of roads. We also recognize the prudent policy measures that brought about economic stability until recently, when global pressures led to the decline of the value of the cedi. However, we believe that with pragmatic steps being taken, there will be a reversal of the trend. This is the hallmark of a great achiever, and we wish you well in your task of governance.
There are two initiatives of our government that are particularly important for the future of our country. I'm not saying the others are not. But first of all, the one that has to do with the development of our human capital. We will not make a success of the 21st century unless we take on board education as a central concern of all of us. Therefore, the free senior high school policy, which was intended to make sure that every young Ghanaian, no matter what part of the country he comes from, no matter the circumstances of his birth or his parents, has access to a minimum of secondary education. It's a fundamental premise on which this government is working, because we know that without an empowered population, the process of national development is going to be challenged. And we also know from the examples of other societies that those societies that have taken education as their central concern are the societies and nations that have prospered. We're talking about the United States of America, the first country to do the free senior high school policy. We're talking about Japan or South Korea. We're talking about modern-day China or India or Canada or Finland. All of these countries, which have been the 20th century success stories, have taken education very, very seriously. I want us in Ghana to have that same reflex. Therefore, the openings that are being created. Last year, the first year of the policy, 90,000 more young men and women gained access to secondary school than the year before. We're doubling that intake this year to 180,000. But in order to do so and improve also quality, there are two things that we're doing. We're first of all recruiting over 8,000 teachers to respond to this expanded population. Some people may wonder, is this not an ambitious target? I'm saying no. Why do I say so? You've heard of the Nation Builders Corps and the efforts to recruit the 100,000 graduates that are going to work in the various modules of the Nation Builders Corps. You will be astounded to hear that 43,000 of the applicants to enter the Nation Builders Corps are teachers. 43,000. So to take out of that pool 8,000 is not going to be a difficult task for us to do. Or rather, we should all be concerned about is that we live in a country where there are 43,000 teachers sitting at home twiddling their thumbs when they should be out there teaching our children. That should be our concern. So do not worry yourselves about the teachers. They exist. And we're determined to employ them to make sure that they do what they were trained to do. The second is this multi-track, double intake organization that we're going to make from the beginning of this academic year to be able to deal with this large population, inflow of this large population of new students. And that is going to allow us to do 2 or 3 things. First of all, create room for all the students. Secondly, reduce class sizes, downsize class sizes, and that is the key to the quality, is that we will have smaller classes, teachers that are capable of teaching them. And I'm sure that in 2 or 3 years' time, the comment made by the representative of the teachers about the quality of our examination passes will be a thing of the past. So I want you to support this dual intake system as being a very, very efficient way of dealing with this large class of people. And also encouraging the community to take advantage of the policy and send their children to school. And when we're talking about children, we're not just talking about male children, we're talking about women as well. Making sure that all our young boys and girls have access to secondary education is very important for the future of our country. The second is the planting for food and jobs. I know that here I'm in the heart of some of the most important agricultural areas of our country, and that therefore the impact of the planting for food and jobs here will be considerable. Last year, with rolling out the program which was talking about the supply of improved seedings, of subsidized fertilizers, of extension services to the farmers, of the 200,000 people who registered for the program, farmers who registered for the program last year, 37,000 came from the Upper West. That is how important farming is in this area. This year, we're expanding the program to include 500,000 farmers. An additional 300,000 farmers are coming onto the program than last year. I'm hoping, and this is what I'm being told by your own son, Dr. Jile Nura, who's the Deputy Minister in charge of this exercise of agriculture, that we're anticipating 50,000 plus teachers from the Upper West to join in the program. Koro and all of you, I'm pleading with you, let all the farmers join in the program. It is the way that we will become, at long last, self-sufficient in our agriculture. It doesn't make sense for us that we have all of this green and arable lands here, and we're importing food from Burkina Faso, we're importing food from Cote d'Ivoire, who have less arable land than we do. It doesn't make sense. And we should collectively work together to reverse that trend. So these are the 2 appeals that on my part I would make to you at this sitting.